pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, will you please read the minutes of the previous meeting?
Regular meeting of the town board, Monday, May 13th, 2013. Regular town board meeting was called to order by Supervisor Knorr. Present were Councilman Tracy, Councilwoman Beckwith, Councilman Harvey, Superintendent Haas, absent Councilman Barrows. The board led the Pledge of Allegiance. Clerk read the minutes from the April 8th, 2013 meeting. A motion to accept as read was made by Councilman Tracy and seconded by Councilman Harvey. All in favor, motion carried. Supervisor's financial report was read. A motion to accept as read was made by Councilman Tracy and seconded by Councilman Harvey. All in favor, motion carried. Highway warrants read, vouchers 43 through 56 totaling $20,739.23. General warrants read, vouchers 64 through 76 totaling $2,169.36. And prepaid warrants read, vouchers 39 through 48 totaling $6,976.55. Motion to pay all warrants as read was made by Councilman Tracy and seconded by Councilwoman Beckwith. All in favor, motion carried. Highway report, the highway department started grading potholes and doing some sweeping. Other projects are waiting on issues. Started patching holes. Big projects to be Tice Road and Creek Road. We've had several calls regarding the dust. They need to finish grading first, then we'll do something with the dust problem. Superintendent Haas stated he's looking for a 1-ton Ford dump truck at Smith Ford in Cooperstown. It's in nice shape, has extended cab, is diesel, 30,000 miles, 2008, four-wheel drive. They're asking $40,000, might get $10,000 to $12,000 on trade on ours. We'll have to go out to bid. The clerk read a thank you note from the Gassert family on Town Line Road. Councilman Harvey asked if the grader is working. Superintendent Haas stated there are no problems with it. The computer in Doug's truck is bad. It's just out of warranty, but only has about 200 hours on it. Superintendent Haas is working with Cummings to try and get some money back on it. Old business, fuel bids read. One bid from Reese Marshall was received. Councilman Tracy made a motion to accept the Reese Marshall bid, seconded by Councilman Harvey. All in favor, motion carried. Delta engineering discussion continued. Councilman Harvey made a motion to table the discussion until Councilman Barrows returns, seconded by Councilman Tracy. All in favor, motion carried. New business, the clerk read the Emerson Trust disbursements. Letters were read from Jim Garudo and Walter Olson. A letter from the Chenango County Planning and Development Board was read. Supervisor Knorr stated the only fair way to straighten out whether to pursue a moratorium banning drilling is to have the concerned citizens of McDonough Group conduct a survey and find out what the popular public opinion is. Steve Ellsworth stated they would do the survey. Supervisor Knorr will report to the County Planning Department that a survey will be done. Supervisor Knorr stated a second option for the board would be to support a natural gas development plan implemented and supported by the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. Councilman Harvey made a motion to have a committee of concerned citizens of McDonough conduct a survey of the town of McDonough tax roll of property owners. Councilman Tracy seconded the motion. Discussion, multiple properties, multiple owners. What's the solution to this? Who gets to vote and how many times is unclear. Councilman Harvey withdrew his motion. Councilman Tracy withdrew his second. Supervisor Knorr adjourned the meeting. Respectfully, Donna Preston, Town Clerk.
Is there any additions or corrections to the minutes?
I'd like to make, I guess, an addition. I'm going by memory right now. Back the section where a letter from Chenango County Planning Board or Development was read. If my memory serves me right, we were told that the board could proceed with the 3-2 vote that we had on the moratorium. But if I remember correctly, we were also told that we no longer had a 3-2 vote or a majority on that. And now there were two options for us. The one, and as they are listed right here in the minutes, the survey or the signing on for the county, the natural gas development plan supported by the DEC. So does anybody else remember that? Am I out in left field, or do I remember that correctly, that we were...
Well, you asked me if there was another option. I said the only other option that I knew of was the DEC.
That's the third option we were told, right? Well, it was the second option.
Second option.
The first being do the survey. But I thought I understood that it was mentioned that we could proceed with the 3-2 vote moratorium, but that we were told we no longer had a 3-2 majority.
What the county said, you're gonna have a super vote, now it's 4.
That's what I understood it, that we had to have a 4. There had to be 4 board members who voted for.
That's not true.
And I know at one point in the discussion, but well after that, something was mentioned that there wasn't, that there wouldn't be,
The 3-2 majority
Yes.
anymore.
you know, that I don't know what.
Okay, I mean, again, just going
I
back, I
believe
don't
that
remember
was-
just how that all fell in chronological order, but it just, it struck me that there was another option, and that was to proceed with the 3-2 vote moratorium that we had, but then as the meeting progressed, it seemed like that wasn't on the table anymore. Now we were down to either you're going to do a survey as an option, or you're going to sign on to the natural gas development plan, implemented and supported by the DEC. So I guess that's the only addition that I would make on that particular subject, that at least to my ears and my mind, I thought I heard that there was actually 3 options. One of them being the town could move forward with a 3-2, but we no longer had that 3-2 majority. Now, if somebody got a better memory than I do, I'd be more than happy to hear that.
I guess we could table it. One of them must have the video of that we could.
I remember what happened. I watched the video a couple times. I also know that the lawyer told us, me and Art, in December, that we could go ahead with a 3-2 vote in McDonough. I don't know if you remember that or not, but it seems to me that as soon as you found that out again, you rescinded your vote.
Well, the county claims you could have a super vote and have a 4.
Well, according to the lawyer, he said he could fight that if you let him, if you let the lawyer that you supposedly hired do his job.
Who do we hire for a lawyer?
Hey, Swatchy. He's the one who wrote the
You
law.
hired him for free.
Okay, I was gonna say, 'cause I don't think we're paying them.
No, it's pro bono, it's pro
At
bono.
least we weren't the last time I was here. I never heard of hiring somebody for free, but
He's
We retained
volunteering.
him for free.
oh, I guess
And that's-
So basically, are you saying that you agree that it was stated, what Terry said, that in this discussion, it was stated that we could go forward with the 3-2?
No one ever brought that up. I think Art knew it, but
I
it
don't
was never
recall.
brought up.
This wasn't in my minutes.
I'm not sure why it wasn't brought up.
Well, the board, the county down there,
But you knew
well,
the lawyer.
none of this. It's all irrelevant.
Yeah.
We're trying to do town business. We're trying to pass the minutes.
Trying to get through the minutes.
I mean, whether it was there or not, I don't know. That's the issue, nothing else. I'll make a motion to pass the minutes as read.
we need a second on that.
I'll second.
All in favor?
No,
Opposed?
I'm opposed.
Okay. Unopposed?
Penny, did you second?
Yes.
Okay, this is supervisor's financial report. A general beginning balance, $145,966.39. Total revenue is $24,186.39. $47.04. Total disbursements is $6,981.49, leaving ending balance of $163,031.94. Highway, beginning balance $397,697.07. Total revenue $2,003.12. Total disbursements $28,787.76, leaving ending balance of $370,912.43. Capital Reserve Machinery, beginning balance $179,897.68. Total revenue is $4.58. Zero disbursements, leaving ending balance of $179,902.26. Capital Reserve Unemployed, beginning balance $11,018.71. Total revenue 19 cents. Zero disbursements, leaving ending balance of $11,018.90. Highway Building Maintenance, beginning balance is $19,748.26. Total revenue is 36 cents. Zero disbursements, leaving ending balance of $19,748.60. Capital Reserve Emory Herald, beginning balance $7,741.36. Total revenue 71 cents. Zero disbursements, leaving ending balance of $7,742.07. Capital Reserve Town Hall, beginning balance is $12,552.29. Total revenue is 21 cents. Zero disbursements, leaving ending balance of $12,552.50. And by the way, the Emory Herald is on a $100,000 CD. Anybody got any questions?
I would just make a comment for the public's knowledge. Under general, there's under income, there's $22,797. That's from sales tax coming into the town.
That's this quarter. Anybody else have anything?
Make a motion, to accept the financial report.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Okay.
Opposed? Clerk, please read the bills and warrants.
Highway warrants, June 10th, 2013, beginning claim number 57. Beck Equipment, $3,300 and $2,725. Burrell's Excavation, $1,944. Canal Street Hardware, $31.68. Certified Labs, $380.93. Cincinnati's Home, $64.55. Fuller Sand and Gravel, $528 and $192. Jeffrey's RV and Mobile, $213.25. McKee Equipment, $33.99. Reese Marshall, $3,242.35. Saunders Concrete, $400. Steel Sales, $334.96. Tri-County Communications, $99.75. Tyner Ridge Garage, $21. Williams Lubricants, $903.04. Total highway warrant, $14,414.50. General warrants, beginning claim number 77, Art Knorr, $93.23. Donna Preston, $154.98 and $183.65. Evening Sun, $25.92. Hayes Office Products, $22.95 and $3.71. Reynolds To Go, $90. Roxana Harvey, $49.49, and the Trophy Guy, $25. Tom Haas, $12.94. Total general warrant, $661.87. Prepaid warrants, beginning claim number 49, Donna Preston, $100. Frontier, $48.05, $119.24, and $109.28. New York State Teamsters Council, $194.22 and $2,054.98. NYSEG, $18.33, $279.05, $37.34, and $386.25. Total prepaid warrant, $3,346.74.
Any questions on the bill?
Make a motion to pay the warrant.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Tom, the highway report.
All right, well, if you, rain, yeah, if you live on a dirt road, you'll know we started grading. We thought we had some good weather, but hopefully you got four-wheel drive and snow tires on your car because it's a little slippery in some spots where we graded. We're not gonna be doing any grading now for a while till it dries up. We've been hauling some sand, we've been hauling crusher run for the culvert pipe up on Strong Road. I think after today, we have enough crusher run. The culvert pipe, we're gonna be up there on Thursday digging out to get the pipe ready to come out, which will be coming out on Monday. We had the phone line marked. We found out the phone line runs right through the creek, right next to the culvert pipe, down through the water. So when the guys marked it out, I said, what are we gonna do about that? They just said, the day you're digging it, let us know, cut it, dig right through it. We'll have a line crew here. When you get all done, we'll patch it back up. So there'll be, they believe it's only gonna affect one phone, and that's on the west side of culvert pipe, the culvert pipe, so. If you get any calls that the phones went down, that's why the phones went down. The truck is still over at Dixon Diesel. I went over and met with Rob Dixon. If everybody recalls, it's been over there since March. It's having some warranty work done to it. I met with him and told him that he's got to get it done, get it in, get it fixed. He assured me he would. I tried calling him several times today and I didn't get a return call. I'm hoping the reason is because he was working on our truck. Last week, there was, town of Versailles had engine trouble with their loader. They had a bunch of ditch dirt pulled out in the middle of a road and the loader wouldn't run anymore. They came down and borrowed our loader to go up there and get the dirt out of the road. They had like 8 loads, so now they're back down here. They came down today and they're mowing our roadsides for a couple days. They're gonna mow roadsides, so we're working that out. The well at the town hall,
Town barn?
town barn, I should say, I'm sorry, seems to have a little problem. There is dirt coming out of the faucets. There was a problem a while back, I guess, where they had to replace a pump or something. I couldn't find any records on it.
I don't know if we ever replaced the pump. I know we had trouble a while ago.
Yeah, I don't remember the whole story.
Okay, well, it's when you flush the toilet or you turn on the water, dirt will come out. And I mean, there's quite a bit of dirt.
Can't light it.
No, not yet. So we're trying to figure out exactly what that might be. I mean, some days it doesn't do it at all. Other days, like it seems like if it sets, the longer it sets, the more it doesn't. So, doesn't make much sense. When and if it ever does dry out, we have a dust control product. We're gonna be putting it down in areas. There's some areas that I have letters for because of organic farming. I will not be putting down any dust control. Because they asked in the letter not to, where there's organic farming, where there could be drift or runoff. Because of the organic farm, don't use any type of substance that isn't organic. So, but other than that, we're just moving forward, hoping the rain stops.
The water situation at Town Barn, do we have any kind of a filter system on that? Between the, pump down in the well and the toilet and the faucet, is there any?
No. Nope, it comes up to a pressure tank and comes right in.
I know I've had plenty of problems with mine over the years with sediment in it, and got a filter system put on, and got to change the filter every few months, but that cured the problem. I wonder if that would be
I don't
something
know.
to think about, or
Yeah.
look at.
It's quite a bit of material that comes out. I mean, you can sand the road with it, put it that way. And I'm just wondering if, because of all the rain we've had, if some type of runoff somewhere is stirring up the well.
How deep is that well? You have any idea?
To the bottom?
Yeah, I know that. 10 feet or 110 feet,
I
no idea.
have no
I
clue.
think right there, probably about 120. That's what most of them are, right there, 120, 130.
I guess the best thing to do is just wait a while and see it.
Yeah, well, that's,
You just want to make aware of it.
yep, just in case one day I walk in there and there's no water.
Or when you was cleaning your equipment, you use water for that with that steamer, don't you?
Yes. That's where we first noticed it.
That's where you use that.
That's where we first noticed it, because it doesn't seem like it was getting enough pressure, and then I shut the hose off and disconnected it, and there was, the strainer on the steam cleaner was just loaded with sand,
Is
sand.
it like a sand lake?
Yeah.
Yeah, like ground up black sand lake?
Yeah. You been over there or taking a shower?
No, but the front place I have has the same damn thing. Used to put the washing machine up all the time, so I put a filter on it. Like Terry says, put the filter on it. And
Okay.
might have to put it on there. Anything else? Nope, okay, thank you very much. Okay. Now, under old business, the school bus garage here, the people had to vote on it under a referendum, and they transferred the school back, the bus garage back to the McDonough, and the vote to pass it was 178 for it and 43 against it. So I guess we're gonna get the garage. That's all we're waiting for.
We don't got the keys yet, no.
No, I think he got it.
Yeah, there's no key. I got, it's automatic door open.
So we'll have to take over that electric bill too,
Yeah.
once it.
Well,
Somebody's gonna wanna let NICEAG know,
Well, I gotta get a hold of Roger.
so they don't shut it off and we can't get in.
Yeah, I gotta get a hold of Roger and see what the final paperwork is there.
Is there an entry door into that building?
Yes.
Yeah, on the side there.
Yeah. But nobody seems to have a key to that. Carol never had a key to it.
When we take over, we probably ought to
Get a lock.
Get it right.
get it fixed, so if there is a power outage, you'd be able to get in and.
Does the door, is it electric opener on the door? But can it be run manually too, can it?
Yeah, if you're inside.
Yeah, right.
If you can't get inside, you can't
No,
run.
you get the door fixed, like John says, you can get inside.
Carol should have had a key. Her and I both had one.
You don't have one anymore, though.
Nope.
Okay, well, the next thing on old business is the Delta. We was gonna wait till Terry wanted to table it to bring that back here. So. The only thing about the Delta is, they never showed us a copy of the law at that meeting, and like Tom said, it's pretty hard to enforce it. He said the county won't do anything to enforce it. So I don't know what you want to do.
No, and I went through Town of Caroline's law. I mean, I've been reading that for quite a while. And it's a really well-written law. It's a good law. The thing is, it's pretty much, it's a spin-off of the Delta law, the Delta program. I mean, they just added some things that would benefit their area for road protection and so on and so forth. But it's, the framework for that came from Delta. And then it looks like they tweaked it, you know, and worked around that law. Which, you know, looking at all the paperwork, and I mean, Steve would know because he went to a lot of the meetings. It took them a long time to do that, a very long
I
time.
watched it work on it.
Yeah, and, you know, it's a commitment. It'd be a time commitment for the board to draw something up like that. I mean, like what we saw, the Delta law worked for big, huge companies. The Delta law is not gonna work for us for log trucks because there's not enough easels for a log truck making trips on the road. for that law to help us.
Well, while we're talking about this here, like you're going to do Creek Road, Tice Road, that's your project issue, right? And the type of oil you're going to put on now is what you call it, a penetrating oil?
Penetrating oil, yes.
Right. Now, I know you told me, I think, you told me, I'm pretty sure, that they're going to do a lot of logging over that now.
Yep, they're,
So now, if you take the Tice Road up, let's assume, hypothetical question, you take Tice Road up, regrade it, and you put this oil on it now, how's that going to work out with all these trucks? You'll probably have to tear it up and regrade it next spring, right?
yeah, and that's the whole reason for doing something like that with that road, rather than tearing it up and topping it, putting oil and stone down on it. Because the difference in price, the oil and stone, to do that 6,000 foot of Tice Road from Margaret Walls to 220, to do that is going to be roughly about $45,000
With oil and stone.
with oil and stone.
That's only one cut.
Right. So
And what's this oil going to cost?
the oil is going to be about $10,000. So there's quite a difference. And, you know, the penetrating oil, I think, will hold the road a lot better than oil and stone will with that type of truck traffic on it.
I have a question here, as far as the state land that they're going to be working on. That state land along Butler Road, right? There's some hardwood that's marked over there.
It says it's not going to work there.
It's Butler, and then the chimneys.
The truck travel through there.
Yeah, it said it won't work for logging.
What? I'm sorry.
You said it wouldn't work for
Well, down the law will work for the gas drilling, it won't work for the logging.
No, because there's not enough easels for the logging trucks.
But like I said, it depends on what we want to accomplish with it.
Correct.
Well, Are we that worried about the log trucks? Or,
Personally, that's what's affecting the roads right now, is the log trucks. That's what concerns me. I mean, looking at $50,000, $60,000 to put in a road, and 2 months or 3 months after you put that in a road and have it tore up by log trucks or any type of heavy traffic, to me is just, you might as well take the money and
party.
have it.
Well, the town's had log trucks here for decades, and I mean, something like that hasn't broke the town yet. So it would deal with
Right,
log trucks.
but have you looked at some of the oil and stone roads that are around that have had nothing done to them?
Back to my original question, with the Butler,
Yeah.
the truck trail, I'm trying to figure out if there's a way that we could encourage them strongly to come in empty on in one direction, and then like on Butler, if they went out full, the shortest route to 220. Or if they're on the truck trail that goes through by the chimneys, come into one way empty, go out full, so they get to 220 as quick as they can, and stay off of Tice Road as much as possible. It sounds like that could be doable. I mean, at least you're not going over with the troopers and the sheriff to try to...
Right, that would be probably a question for the town attorney, because if they're going to be giving us a bond of $5,000 to use our roads, and then you're telling them,
What road?
this is how you have to use it, I don't know if we can legally tell somebody you can't use our town road without anything in place. Because we really don't have anything directing, giving me authorization or any kind of authorization on what roads can and cannot be used.
Well, now there's bonding. The DEC told you now that it was going to tell you when they're doing a job, which they do now, right? And do they have to bond with the DEC or nothing?
They have to put a big bond up for the DEC.
They do.
Yeah, oh, they put a huge bond up for the DEC,
So
depending on how big the job is.
So what's the, now, might be a foolish question, but I'll ask anyway. Why is it we can only get 5,000 out of them? And because of the way the law is set?
Because that's the way it's written.
was written along.
That's the way it's written. Well, we're going to change it then.
We can change it, or if they don't want to pay the bond, don't use the road, they've got to use the truck trail to 220.
Because it don't take too much to change, all you have to do is write it up, and you have to have a public hearing on it, and vote on it, and send it to DEC, and to Secretary of State in 14 days later it's law.
Right. Well, you saw last year the big log trucks coming down by your place trying to make that turn. Now, they were coming from Mrs. Whaley's side of Live Sherman.
That's right.
They were between Mrs. Whaley's and Live Sherman, and they were coming out your way loaded and going to, because that was the shortest route for them to go. They were coming in empty up Preston Road and going out full out your road.
Well, see, another thing, which I don't think you explained, but you did to me one time, that the way it's set up with chips now, you're gonna reconstruct the road. That's the term I think you told me.
Correct.
And by reconstructing it, they allow you to put the oil on, that's part of the reconstruction, which they pay for. Then next year, you do what you call, I don't know what you called it, paving. That's what you said.
Correct.
Not repaving, but paving.
Right.
So then they pay for the paving also?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because the project wouldn't be complete. The reconstruction of the road would be this year. Next year would be the top on the road, oil and stone. And that would be paid for because that's the complete top.
That's the second part of it.
Correct.
But now,
And then it's considered a final project.
say we go ahead, grade the road, roll it, all that, and you put the oil on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go ahead and really ding it up. Then what happens then? What do you have to do, regrade it, and then you're gonna lose the $10,000 worth of oil, right?
Yeah, it's gonna mix in. It's gonna be in the stone, it's not gonna disappear.
Because it's a
Penetrating.
oil,
Right.
penetrates into the ground.
Yeah, it's like the same, similar to what they use for oil and stone, that they put on the road, the stone sticks to it.
Yeah.
That oil penetrates into the ground. That's what holds it there, or you can just get your hands under the tar. Don't call it tar a soup coat, they have a fit, it's called oil. And peel it up. It penetrates into the ground, so when you scat fire that up or have to regrade it, it mixes right in. The same way we did like with Corbin last year. That was oil and stone. We scat fired that road up, we didn't take it out of there, we mixed it right in
Yeah.
and rolled it out.
But now when you freight it down, are we gonna have a problem with it sticking to the cars like we did some of that stuff?
Well, the road, they're gonna know when it's gonna happen, when we're gonna spray this stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Anything you put on the road like that's gonna stick to
Then
the
you have
car.
to shut the road off temporarily.
Correct. And that's why I say the homeowners would have to know, so they don't pull out their driveway or let their dog out of their house, let him run out on the road,
Get a little
get the
taller.
tar on his feet and come in on the white carpet.
What do they figure the set time is on that?
About 20 minutes.
That ain't bad.
So, with the law we have,
Mm-hmm.
other than the amount of the bond, what's wrong with it?
That's what's wrong with you, none of them are.
Well, there should be a few other incidentals in there. Like, for instance, now I'm talking logging, or, because that's our issue right now with the roads, is there should be something where no roadside logging on the road. It's gotta be from the ditch line off the road, which the DEC has agreed to now, finally. And that's what they're gonna do with theirs.
Just like with these guys loading the stone
Correct.
up on Beckwith Road, right below the road.
Yep. Same thing.
You can't load in the road, you gotta have a landing in the road.
Well, I worry a little about that. Somebody comes down that road and gets off and hits one of those piles of pallets of stone.
Just like hitting a stone wall.
That's a huge liability there.
Mm-hmm.
The logging contracts up there that we're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned the road reconstruction this year. Do we know how long their logging contracts are? Would they have to be completed by next summer? Do you have any idea?
Well,
Before the oil and stone would go down?
the one on Mrs. Whaley's side expired in August of this year. This year it expired. However, I talked to Andy Goler today, which is the forester. They just got an extension till next August. The individual down here on Creek Road that's done logging but has cleanup, he's got until
September of 2014 before he has to be out of there. So it all depends, because they give extensions. If it warrants an extension, they give an extension. So there's really no set time on it.
So in other words, you put a road down, we spend all this money, and the only answer to it, you gotta change the law to bond them heavily.
You gotta bond them heavily, and then, you know, it's gonna be the same thing. You're not gonna stop them from running on the road, because there's nobody to really come up here and enforce it.
That's right.
If they don't have a bond, it might be a little bit easier to stop them if they refuse to get a bond and they're running on the road. You've gotta up the bond. You've gotta up the bond and hold them accountable, and you know it's gonna be a court fight, because a logging company just isn't gonna give up $15,000 to fix the road, because they're gonna say, oh, it doesn't cost us $15,000 to fix that.
There's another thing too, where you have to catch them in the act of actually destroying it, or do you just...
They say it wasn't my truck.
It wasn't my, I know nothing.
Yep.
That's where it gets right back, you almost have to have your own enforcement officer. They can go out there and sit all night doing surveillance. Watching for logging trucks.
Well, that's like I said, the individual I had a problem with on Creek Road, he started moving stuff at night.
Well, I had a log truck go by my house about 2 o'clock one morning, back 2 months ago.
And that isn't necessarily our roads are the reason, it's,
Right.
There was other roads too, so.
there's no,
The blue and gold cars they were trying to help.
that's right, they aren't out, the commercial vehicle unit wasn't out that late at night.
Okay, so we're back here at the Delta. We're looking for a yes or no on this tonight.
As far as the Delta, I make a motion, Delta will cost us $10,000 to implement. We have absolutely no way of enforcing it.
Absolutely correct.
And that's $10,000 out the
You can
window.
put to something else.
And you take that $10,000 and invest it, at least part of it, into a comprehensive law that we have started and finish it up. Seems to me that would be a lot more sensible use of the town's money, rather than just take a written law that we can't do anything with, just to say that we have a law on the books.
But the same thing with that, what are we gonna do to enforce it?
What about any of them? You know, because like
Well,
right now.
I've said this for years, we can put all the laws that we want,
That's right.
but if we can't enforce them, they're useless.
Right, if John Tracy Logging has a logging job in McDonough and you don't want to pay the bond, and you tear up a road,
That's right, who enforces it?
just like the undersheriff told me, you're gonna have to get your attorney to sue in civils.
It's gonna be a civil case.
Leanne, you were gonna make a motion.
Yeah, I would make the motion that we don't accept Delta.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion on it? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
All right. Okay. But I think we do have to do something with that law, where we're gonna have to get more of a bond.
Yeah, well, I brought it here to the one meeting, I'll get more copies of it, but I had some things written up and, I'll just write them up again.
You had them on a double page, like German one side or something. the other side.
Correct.
Yeah.
And,
I've still got that.
oh, do you? Yeah, because that cross-reference, cross-references the good points and the bad points and some added.
Well, it seems like to me that instead of spending 10,000, maybe we can get together somehow and take the best of these laws and make our own. $10,000 do a lot of repairs, put tires on the 10 wheels and more. Okay, now let's see. We answered the dust control question, we answered the Delta. All right, under new business, we The Emerson grant, as far as the town here, the new pressure treated stairs are built, they're down there, or downstairs. We had a new stair going up, that was rotted, and the bottom steps were gone. And, the new signs are out front, the gray sign is there, the court justice sign is out there, and the new signs in the front here, we painted and done. And the only thing we gotta get is the bulletin board sign, which he has, I have to pick it up. And then when Pete builds the new bulletin boards, with the plexiglass and the lock, then we'll put the sign in. Okay, that's
I
it.
have local information. I talked to Reese over the weekend. They're hoping if the weather cooperates, they'll be started on the pavilion, not this week, but next week. They've ordered the trusses and different materials. They say if the weather cooperates, they're planning to start next week to build the pavilion.
Yeah, if the weather cooperates. Okay. Now, under communication, we got 2 letters here. Actually, there are 2 complaints. And they're from the Lake Association up there. And I'll give them to you, and you can look them over here. Pass them around here and look them over. And that's what they are. And I don't think, your president's Ann up there now, right?
Yeah, she was gonna come tonight, I don't know where she.
No, she isn't here. Well, anyway, I checked with the county attorney today, and like, you're a private association. And that road, if you're on over, that's a private road. So say, for instance, that road washed out, the town can't go and fix that road. But since you have a water problem with the lake, what you have to do is get a hold of Econ. And I'll tell you who, you've got a member of your association up there, Gary Lovedale, who's in your association. You know Gary?
I know Gary, yeah.
Okay. Well, he knows all about it, he can tell you exactly how to contact those guys, and they'll do something right away, and they're the only ones to get, so if you don't get them, it goes around the court systems, where there it goes to the district attorney if something isn't done. They're the most effective. Because over in East McDonough, we had a case a couple of years ago, where they were digging and putting a septic tank right into the brook, and that was in back of Gary's here. And he called Econ, and they were there the next morning, and they did something about it. It didn't take very long either.
Okay, I'll get that information from you later, and then I'll get it over to Gary.
Yeah, because I know she was quite concerned about it. There's 2 places up there. One is a burnt down house, and equipment stored on it, and I guess some of that stuff's draining in the lake. And then the other guy there, he's got gas cans, I don't know what else.
You name it, he's got it. Got everything there, so.
Got everything there.
Yeah.
So, but they will go, anything to do with the water, they're right there.
Well, they tried, you know, they sending letters for years to try to get them to do something, and they get a yes, a nod, nothing happens. So they came up with this thing there that there is a method of signing a complaint and sending it into the county, and the county, of course, just sends it back to you. So
But the county said that I went to the lawyer today there, and we don't have any jurisdiction there, but he said to get a hold of Econ, and they will. And I know they do.
Now, what is Econ?
They're the environmental police.
County or what?
DEC. No, the state.
Oh, DEC, okay.
DEC. Anything to do with the water, they're right on top of it.
Let me ask you this though, that being a private lake, would they still, I can't remember if Gary Lovedale, so somebody told me, that the DEC went down on Chenango Lake and were checking people for fishing licenses, and basically they were thrown out because it's a private.
No, that was a court case.
That's phony baloney then?
Yeah.
Okay.
They've got jurisdiction on all the water in New York State, no matter who owns it.
Yeah, the DEC does.
Does, man.
Farm, yeah?
Yeah.
Not over there.
Yeah.
Now it is.
I mean, otherwise, you're going around and around again like they've been going around. We tried this method because they did well, because they stopped them right away.
Okay.
Made them put in 2 septic tanks.
All right, thank you.
Okay, now, yep, right here. I have a letter here from the Bicentennial Committee to the town board, and maybe town clerk be so gracious to read it to us.
To McDonough Town Board from the 2016 Bicentennial Committee. Please be advised that the 2016 Bicentennial Committee met on Wednesday, May 29, 2013. There were 7 interested people in attendance. There were a lot of wonderful ideas, and the one thing that is lacking is startup funds. We are asking the McDonough Town Board if they could give us enough money to get us started. We thought $200 would be a good beginning. The committee wondered if you could fund us up to $500 per year for this big event. For your information, it was decided that the 2016 Bicentennial Committee will have a checking account separate from all other organizations. We will be meeting monthly to make all of the plans. Our next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, June 27th, 2013 at the Calvary Community Center. We are inviting all interested parties and hope any and all town board members will be able to join us. We will report in after each meeting for those of you who cannot join us. Thank you for your support. Sincerely yours, Judy Lucier.
Doesn't tell what time the meeting is. It should be date. I can call it.
When is the Bicentennial?
2016.
It was 1816 when we cut away from Preston. So, any comments on that?
They're asking for how much again?
200 startup fee, 500 per year.
And then we could look at something that could be put in the budget for the,
Next year.
have we got $200 that we could spare?
To start them, we can take it out of contingency, move it out of contingency.
I'll make a motion that we give the Bicentennial Committee $200 to get started up.
Okay, any more discussion on it? Anybody have any ideas? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I will, you want me to more or less redo that now, and then next month you'll have to move it to $200. All right, so that's what we'll do. All right, very good. Now, there's something else here, let's see. We gotta do this resolution.
Resolution 2013, number 7. Supervisor Arrington J. Knorr offers bond resolution for adoption. Transfer $30,000 from DA 5130.2 machinery into capital reserve machinery H.
I'll second it.
So wait, what is this in reference to? What's the 30,000 for?
The 30,000 we put in the capital reserve machinery.
That's in the taxes. Every year, we have $30,000 we add to that machinery buying account. So that goes to the capital reserve. In other words, once that goes in there, that's all you can do is buy machinery. You can't buy gravel, sand, or nothing else.
Very good.
Roll call. Councilman Barrows?
Yes.
Councilwoman Beckwith?
Yes.
Councilman Harvey?
Yes.
Councilman Tracy? Supervisor Knorr?
Yes.
5 in favor, 0 opposed, and 0 absent. Motion carried.
Now, was brought up to me by somebody in the town, and I never thought of it, and we have Mr. Reese mowing the parks. Now, the tennis courts down there, I guess that, and the basketball court down there, which is missing a hoop, hasn't been mowed. Now, I don't know if they ever did that, or if they didn't. Does anybody seem to know?
Ken Sheldon used to do it.
I know, that's what I mean, I think Ken always did it.
He did.
Now, of course,
I guess I was under the assumption that they were mowing it at Reesville, but
apparently he's not, no, because the weeds as high as this table. So, I don't know whether I don't think he ever figured out its price.
Pretty sure he was just figuring the ballpark, you know, the pavilion, that park right down here in the East
This one here?
Park.
maybe we could talk to him and see how much extra it would cost to do that. And while we're at that, we probably ought to check and see what it would cost to have a weed eater around this place once in a while too. I mean, if we're gonna have them, you know, really, if we want people to keep a decent image, then we probably should.
Okay, well, I'll get in touch with him.
You know, the thing is, it's gonna be another month, but once we make a motion and pre-approve something for it.
Yeah, we'll have to get out of contingency.
What does he pay a year to mow down there?
Was it 1,200 or 1,500?
210 times 6 months, 12 something.
1260 was it or something like that?
Something like that. There can't be too much more for that.
I guess I'll make a motion to prepay up to $25 a month.
For the
I don't-
tennis court?
For the tennis court and here, if he'll do that. We gotta start somewhere.
If you don't, why then
we'll have to
that's a
bring
starting figure, then we'll,
Then we'll have to bring it back to the meeting.
and get a price from everyone. Okay.
But I'll make a motion that we spend up to 25 more a month.
Do I hear a second on that?
I'll second it.
Any more discussion on it? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay. I don't think I missed anything here, have I? Okay. Okay, we'll open up to the public for comment time. Before we say anything here, is there anybody who wants to discuss anything else other than the gas? Anybody else have anything they want to bring up tonight? Okay, then we'll go right to the gas.
Imagine that.
I'm done.
My name's Steve Elton. Okay.
Good night, Tom.
The survey is ready to go, but the concerned residents of McDonough feel that it might be a wasted effort, and here's why. Several months ago, Kelly Brannigan from Middlefield spoke about her moratorium and ban in their town. There was discussion among the board members doing a survey using the same methods that Middlefield had done. Concerned residents of McDonough seem satisfied with that discussion. The survey topic has been brought up at every meeting since. At a subsequent meeting, there was a discussion about using only the mailed survey, so no petition signatures or phone survey tallies could be used. Again, the concerned citizens of McDonough resolved to your stipulations, plan for a survey to be sent to every person who lived in the town, as well as out-of-town landowners. Last month, the result of the 239M review and your resolutions to that make it clear that your intention was only to appease the people of McDonough that are concerned with gas drilling. This was for a moratorium, not for a ban. You gave us two choices: let the DEC regulate the industry or take a town survey. The town voted 3-2 for a moratorium to allow for time for road preservation and town survey to inquire how many people were against drilling, how many people were for drilling or unsure. And I believe that there was another option that was not even talked about other than what you had mentioned, because you didn't want to talk about it. Other concerns that the town had were the spreading of road brine, implementing a law to not do that, and then implementing a master plan that would lead to a comprehensive plan. We know now where you stand. As you could have given a third option, opposing the county's resolution, since it said nothing about having an adverse effect on a neighboring town or the county as a whole. Instead, you said there would only be 2 votes because you would no longer get mine. Back to the survey. Last month, discussion about the survey began, but soon was sabotaged with questions that were hardly democratic. This threw the meeting into chaos and it turned emotional rather than rational. Like, if I have 8 properties, do I get 8 votes? And does NYSEG get the vote, or Norris or Nornu get the vote? As for the concerns about the validity of the survey and that it should be done by a professional, I looked at the curricula taken from several universities on designing reliable and valid surveys. And one of the things was the survey size and whether to do a statistical analysis to make sure that it was would cover, but we're not doing that. We're taking the whole town, everybody. So we don't need the statistical analysis. And let's see, and then there's other things like order group questions according to subject, but we only have one question. And then it says clearly state your intentions with the, and which we've done, include the instructions with your survey, and that's done. And ask one question at a time, no double barrel questions. And question types, order group questions. Oh, I think I said that. And then there's rating questions, which we don't have. We don't have a bad question with inconsistent choices. The best advice that I found in the university studies were to pattern your survey after another survey that's been done similar to the new survey that you're going to do, which we're patterning it after the Middlefield one. We have a structured question with one structured question with fixed responses. The structured questions are questions that offer the respondent a closed set of responses from which to choose. And so, given your stand, how could the citizens of McDonough trust that you'd be democratic in this issue? There are only 2 people on the board that I feel would vote democratically. So where would that leave the survey? In the ditch, right? So is it worthwhile doing the survey if you're going to vote it down, even though, if the majority was against drilling, you would let the county rule, right?
Okay, you done that? Yeah. Anybody else?
Answer your question.
Answer? No, not tonight. This is not a discussion back and forth, it's only a comment. Anybody else have a comment on any of this stuff?
On drilling? Is that the question?
Anything you want to talk about, the drilling?
Okay. My name is Fred Lieberman. Years ago I worked in industry, so I know how industry works. And one thing industry does is they hope pretty much that the people that they come in front, whether it's town board, people like you're saying in front of you, is ignorance, lack of knowledge. When I was presented with, when they came to me and my wife and offered us a lease, I was interested in it because I thought I'd be making money, and I was happy. But what I did not know is what the consequences would be. One of the things that is dumped into the ground is something called hydrogen fluoride. Now, one person is shaking his head, so I'm assuming he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Hydrogen fluoride, as any chemist will tell you, does a nice job etching glass. So if it can etch glass, can you imagine what it can do to your cells, the cells of your body? Those people, for example, who said, I'd be interested in having the gas company link me up to my stove free of charge, they're going to be the people who are going to suffer the most at this point. Because when they burn their gas in their range, they're going to be inhaling hydrogen fluoride. Is it a good idea? No, I don't think it is. When you think of all the chemicals that are being dumped down and the effects it will have on a person's health. I was a healthcare professional many years ago. I've seen it affect both the mind as well as the physical body. So I'm a little surprised that this committee here has not investigated a little further. I'm a little surprised that members here have not gone to the nth degree saying, is it safe? how will the community benefit, or how will the community get hurt by it? That's it.
Anybody else would like to speak on this subject? Nobody else? Okay.
Excuse me, could I ask a question?
Go ahead.
So where do we stand now as a town in relation to the motion that we made, and we took it to the county, and the county refused to uphold our motion for regulation? So where does that leave us? I mean,
That's your comment, right? Where you want to-
well, I'm looking for information. I'm looking for the whole picture, and I don't get it. I don't understand. Terry, can you help me out?
Well, we could go on and discuss this all night. That's why we're not having discussions anymore, just comments for a while and see what happens.
But that's what I came here for tonight, to find out what's gonna happen. It just stops? We're just done?
I can offer my opinion.
Would you?
Yeah, my opinion is that you're going to need to continue to put pressure on Albany, the Assembly, the Senate, the governor, and then there's an election in November.
I'm just.
That's probably the best
what these
survey
people
that
are
the
here
town can
for
have.
I'm really confused.
Well, I got spanked for anything I said last meeting, so I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
You got what?
I got spanked for it tonight, so I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
No, really, I came here tonight to find out now, okay, well, what can we do now, or what's the next step? And you're not gonna give us any type of response?
Not tonight.
Well, what are you here for then? What is your job?
We've heard all of this on for months, matter of fact, for years. And now we've decided for a while, we're just gonna have a cooling off period, and we're just gonna remain neutral.
Well, when you say "we,"
You mean,
do not include me in that "we," okay?
you got a mouse in
Maybe
your
the
pocket?
four of you.
Huh?
You got a mouse in your pocket?
Okay, we don't need this aggravation, I think it's your turn.
Right.